Salute, salute, salute. How you guys doing out there? Welcome back to the channel. I hope you guys have been having a great week. It's been an amazing week over here for me. Thank you all for the new subscribers, man. We are growing. We are knocking on the door to 1,000 subscribers. So make sure that you guys continue to subscribe to the channel, continue to hit that like button, continue to share the videos. It is helping the channel grow. And I couldn't be more thankful for you guys. You guys have been super supportive of the journey, and we are definitely super appreciative and grateful for you guys every single day, showing love, giving us love in the comments, making sure that you guys are, you know what I mean, following through as the family, you know. So appreciate everybody, all of the new subscribers, man. We are so appreciative. So today, what are we talking about? Today, we're talking about the foundational Black American Renaissance movement that is currently happening right now. And it is just a great time to be alive. It's a great time to be a foundational Black American. It is a great time to be Black. You feel me? Everything is just coming together. I'm really feeling the spiritual aspect of this. Our ancestors are shining on us right now. They are putting us in position to not only grow, but to continue to push the right narratives. And with the right support, we're able to see the results that we're looking for. And I wanted to talk about that today because there's definitely a moment that's happening right now. And I've been peeping it for a little while, and it's been kind of something that I've been, you know, paying attention to. And, you know, I was listening to the brother Tariq Nasheed the other day, and he spoke about it, and he couldn't have been more on point when he said that there is a Renaissance movement that's happening right now within the foundational Black American community, the lineage. We are here now, and we're here to stay. And I love the fact that it is being backed up with a lot of very serious substance. And not only that, the artistry and the media that we're putting out is backing it up tenfold. And so I wanted to do kind of just a deep dive into kind of what I'm starting to see, the people that are a part of this Renaissance movement. And not only that, just kind of going back to the history of the foundational Black American Renaissance movements that have happened already, right? We already had the Harlem Renaissance, and I wanted to speak because that's a big part of my channel. Is we're going to deep dive not only into what's happening today, but as well correlating it to the history of our people and the things that we've done as foundational Black Americans right here in this country. And it's been a really, really powerful time for us. You know what I'm saying? As we saw, Michael B. Jordan and Ryan Coogler just won the Oscar award for their movie depiction Sinners. And we already know the storyline was based on the struggles and the plight of foundational Black Americans. And it was nothing more inspiring to see them not only get the recognition that they deserve, but as well for them to do it with such class and dignity. You feel me? And so we're going to deep dive into that because what I feel like it was just a domino effect. And that's why I wanted to make sure that I did this stream today, because I know a lot of us have paid attention to this, and we've seen how this has kind of grown over time. And not only that, the fact that we're now seeing more content creators in this space who are speaking up and who are using their platforms to not only debunk the stereotypes of foundational Black Americans, but as well to teach the history and the importance of our culture and why it should be protected and gatekept at all costs. You feel me? So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to deep dive. We're going to talk about it. We're going to make sure that we're standing on business, obviously. And I'm just going to do my thing. You know what I'm saying? Because obviously everybody has a lane in this space, and my lane, I'm starting to carve it out right now. You feel me? And my lane is correlating not only the current events, but as well correlating into the history of our people with actual factuals. You feel me? And not only that, I'm going to make sure that all of us are on code and that we are staying locked in on what the actual prize is, making sure that we are not losing sight of what's most important. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, there's a lot of, a lot of people who are surrounding what's going on right now, trying to distract us, trying to take us off of our square, trying to put us in a different position than we actually are, trying to destiny swap. You feel me? There's a lot of that going on right now. So it's important for me to make sure that I'm bringing you guys a specific perspective on how these things work. And not only that, making sure that I'm giving you guys the real actual factuals. You know what I'm saying? So let's start at the beginning here. Okay. So let's start with the word Renaissance, right? Because we're talking about that, right? We're talking about a Black American, foundational Black American Renaissance, right? So let's talk about it. Renaissance is a movement or period of vigorous artistic and intellectual activity, right? And that couldn't encapsulate what's happening right now better, right? There is a huge renaissance that's happening right now within the foundational Black American community, right? There is an influx of not only our artistic, but as well the intellectual property that is being spread across not only just in America, but worldwide. And not to discredit anybody else's artistic contributions, but we're talking about right now, right? And it's very important for us to make sure that right now we're speaking about what the vigorous artistic and intellectual activity that is happening right now in the foundational Black American community. Okay, so let me bring this up for you guys, right? Because I got this was my thumbnail, right? This is the thumbnail for this, episode, for this live stream. Okay, and as you guys see in the back, right, I have a picture from the Harlem Renaissance, right, which was initially one of the most, influential times in foundational Black American history. Okay, the Harlem Renaissance was and still is one of the most prestigious times that we've ever been through as foundational Black Americans in America. Okay, and so it was important for me to start as the background, right? That's the foundation of our topic today, right? Because the Harlem Renaissance was just so influential, right? So we're going to talk about that, right? The Harlem Renaissance, because I think a lot of people have forgotten, and it's my duty with my platform to make sure that we speak about the Harlem Renaissance, which basically set the foundation for everything else that is influential right now for foundational Black Americans in America. Okay, so I did my little research, as you guys know I do, and I have to make sure that we bring this to the forefront first, because like you guys see every single time I do a video, every live stream, my intro video is a homage to the ancestors, and we always must make sure that we acknowledge them and we pay our respect to what they set forward for us as foundational Black Americans in America. Okay, straight up. Hey, yo, what up, Chosen? He says, what up? Caribbeans try to overestimate their role in our Black Renaissance. Facts, man, facts. And this is a part of why I'm making sure that I did this stream today, so that we can go through the history, guys, because history will always tell the story for us today, right? And that's why I love the fact that what I saw from the brothers, Ryan Coogler and Michael B. Jordan, is the fact that we have to make sure that we pay homage to our ancestors before anybody else, because they're going to try their best to tether onto what we have going on as they do. But it is our duty to make sure that we always pay homage to our ancestors and what they set forward for us. Salute. You feel me? Salute to Tandria. She says they do very much. We don't lay claim to nothing that they do. Facts. Peace, family. Peace to you. And that's facts, man. Foundational Black Americans, we don't have to do that because the history books have already told us who we are. Okay? The history books are already written. The history books let us know we them ones. You feel me? That's just facts, y'all. We them ones. And we're always going to be them ones because history continues to repeat itself. And that's why Ryan Coogler and Michael B. Jordan winning the Oscar continues to what? Elevate our status as the trendsetters. And like I said, when you go through the definition of what a Renaissance is, this is the pushing forward of intellectual and artistic property for foundational Black Americans. All right. So let's talk about the Harlem Renaissance, y'all. Okay. So the Harlem Renaissance was a vibrant 1920s cultural, artistic, and literacy movement that centered in Harlem, New York, that celebrated foundational Black American life, identity, and culture. Okay. Triggered by the Great Migration, it redefined Black American history and expression, challenging racism through jazz, literature, and art before declining in the 1930s due to the Great Depression. Now, listen, guys, the Great Depression, everybody knows, foundational Black Americans, we were the only ones were actually able to survive through the Great Depression because why? We were the ones with the skills. We were the ones who were the farmers, who were the cultivators of the land, who were the inventors. So when the white establishment saw how good that we were doing, they attacked our communities in a very vicious way. This is all in history books, okay? But like I said, when you're on my channel, we're going to make sure that we pay respect to the history, and we're not going to move without making sure that we're paying homage to the ancestors, right? So salute to Tandria. She says they think we have amnesia. I believe they think so, but that's the problem is when we go ahead and stand on business for our lineage and for our history, you see how tight they get. They get real tight when we start hitting them with them facts and the historical documentation that backs up the way that we speak and the way that we feel. They can't deny that. And that's why they will always move the goalposts, because our history cannot be denied, y'all. It cannot be denied. And we will always stand on business for the ancestors and for our history, because let's keep it real, we still set in history till this day. All right. Like I said, Michael B. Jordan, Ryan Coogler made history, and we continue to make history, y'all. That's just what it is. And they can't stop that. They cannot stop the history of the stuff that we are setting. We constantly are setting the bar higher and higher. And mind you, that's a hard act to follow. No pun intended. But that is a hard act to follow when we are constantly setting the bar higher and higher, when we are constantly elevating our status, when we are constantly changing the narrative. All right. Constantly. Okay. So salute to you, Tandria. Thank you for being active in the chat. Salute to Chosen. We talk about Africans a lot, but these Caribbeans are the sleeper cells in the FBA community. They want to claim their identity and ours. That's facts, man. And listen, over here, everybody gets the same smoke, okay? Because y'all know me, I'm going to talk about all of them. We talk about the Caribbeans, we talk about the Africans, we talk about the Latinos, the Hispanics, the Asians. Everybody gets the same smoke when you got smoke for foundational Black Americans. Like we always say, we don't bother nobody. But when you come over here talking reckless about our lineage, when you come over here trying to dictate and tell us who we are, we got to go ahead and check you real quick and bring it right back. Okay, we're going to have to turn them tables and get you together. That's just what we do as foundational Black Americans. We ain't finna just let y'all come in a room talking crazy to us and think it's all good. No, 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 sir. No, thank you. Hey, and salute to Chosen. He says, and we are not all mixed in with the Caribbeans as well. I was 25 years old when I met my first West Indian. Hey, man, this is facts. We didn't really grow up like that. You know what I'm saying? I'm in California, and I could be real with you. I grew up with more Hispanics and Latinos than I did the Caribbeans. And that's just the facts, bro. I don't know as far as like people on the East Coast or in the South, but over here on the West Coast, I can tell you my experience. You know what I'm saying? That's just facts. Salute to Tandrius. He says, we are the only ones that say we are from the soil, meaning hair, or am I tripping? No, facts. We are. We are the only ones who accept and speak on the soil because we are the soil. Okay. We are the soil, the sand of the seas. If you know, you know. You know what I'm saying? We are the sand of the seas, right? So let me continue. We talked about the Harlem Renaissance, right? And how influential it was to the culture and what we continue to be as a foundation of all things artistic and entertainment wise, and also the literature and the overall growing elevation of the consciousness, right? Let's not forget the consciousness level that is attached to this, okay? The consciousness that has been risen over time, over generations, okay? Centuries of time for foundational Black Americans, growing our consciousness, growing our mentalities, continue to have our own think tanks amongst ourselves and our creative literacy. That is why everybody sees us as the standard when it comes to what's cool, what fashion trends, what dances, what food, okay? Even like now, we're talking about the film aspect, right? Everything that we do is culturally the top, the elite of the top, the elite, all right? That's why my company is called Elite Media, because we're the creme de la creme, the number ones. Everybody else falls underneath that when it comes to this. And that's why I had to make sure that we paid homage to who? To our ancestors, right? To the foundational Black Americans who created the Renaissance in Harlem, because now there is the foundational Black American Renaissance of 2026 that we are a part of, including everybody who's watching this stream and is in the chat, because you guys are 100% a part of this. When you guys come in the chat, when you guys comment on my videos, when you guys giving me insight, you guys are a part of the consciousness, the heartbeat of what we're doing right now in this Renaissance as foundational Black Americans, okay? And that's why it was so important when I was listening to Tariq, he put the words that needed to be put onto this, is that there is a Renaissance happening right now, okay? We saw, and like you see in this picture, the thumbnail, right? You see the brother Terrence Crawford, who just became the world champion, beat the number one guy. Everybody's talking about Canelo, and Terrence Crawford went in there and showed him who we are as foundational Black Americans and what we do. All right. You also got my brother Dave Free and my brother Kendrick Lamar, okay, who literally took hip hop to the next level, who showed everybody what we are capable of when we are able to do what we got to do. Obviously, Tariq, he is going to be the figurehead, okay? We're not saying he no leader, but he is the figurehead of the consciousness that is happening right now in the foundational Black American community, okay? He is a part of that, all right? There's a lot of big people that I could mention, whether it's Afro Elite, whether it's Black Alpha, whether it's Ant CEO. There's a lot of brothers who are doing great work in here. Water God, okay? There's a lot of guys who I see on YouTube who are doing great work in our community. All right. But Tariq is the one that everybody goes to as the filmmaker, because he's the one that's also putting the content behind it. Right. So salute to Tariq. Right. Then you also have, like I said, the brothers, Ryan Coogler, Michael B. Jordan. All right. They are the ones who are just putting out one of the greatest situations ever. You know what I'm saying? They went ahead and got their just deserves. Obviously, we don't need their recognition, but what that does is, like I said on my last stream, this opens up doors for budgets that they need to continue to grow as a community within the construct of this film industry independently. Okay. Like I said, I'm from the music industry, so I understand how the business works. And these awards help our brothers be able to get the opportunities that are necessary to put out the content that we need to uphold and keep our narrative forward. Okay. We don't need these knuckleheads being able to tell us who we are. We need brothers who have the consciousness and the understanding to be able to push it forward. All right. Misty Copeland, she did her thing on stage. All right. We're going to talk about Tiana Taylor. Okay. We're going to get to that. But let's hear. All right. Salute Charles. He says, I'm from the Mississippi Delta, and we only grew up around other FBAs and a couple of whites. There were no Africans to call booty scratchers either. Hey, man, listen, I tell people this all the time. I got homies who are Nigerian. I got homies who are African, Ethiopian, all that stuff. There was never a time where I disrespected them. And they could hop on this stream and tell you they self. You feel me? So when I hear a lot of this, mumbo jumbo from them, people lying on us, we ain't gonna allow that. We done with the lies, bro. We ain't finna just let this go on. Facts. Africans claim we are the same, but they cannot duplicate our greatness, though. This is facts. They can't. And mind you, like I said earlier, we're taking it all the way back to the 1920s. Even in the 20s, they couldn't replicate what we was doing. They couldn't even replicate what they was doing. Our ancestors in the 1920s, they can't even replicate that. Okay? Because, like I said, we them ones, man. They can't, bro. They can't touch us. Salute to Tandrius. He says, on the East Coast, we grew up with more Arabs than the Caribbeans or Africans. A lot of our people standing on business. Destiny swapping was always on the heart. Yeah, man. And we standing on business because it's important, right? The history of our people, and as well, the forward movement that's happening right now. Like I said, the FBA Renaissance that's happening in 2026. We will not allow you guys to tether onto this and be able to try to take credit for it when you have not put in the work, like a lot of these people right here in this this thumbnail. Okay, so let's talk about it. The Great Migration. Millions of Black Americans moved from the rural South to northern cities, creating a concentrated community in Harlem. All right. So look, my dad is from Aurora, Illinois. Okay. A suburb in Chicago. All right. And a lot of our family is directly from Mississippi and South Carolina because of what? The Great Migration up north. Okay. And a lot of foundational Black Americans have this same exact lineage when we talk about people who are in Illinois. Okay. So when people talk about this type of stuff, they don't really understand the history. And that's why we always got to stand on business and let them know historically, a lot of what we created was based in those very deep South beginnings. Mississippi, Louisiana, Texas, Alabama, okay? All of those plantations where a lot of the music, art, and literacy was built. We took that and we went right up north, okay, to a greater situation to be able to do what? Grow our art, be able to grow our reach, be able to grow as a people in a community, all right? So y'all got to make sure you subscribe, man, because I'm cooking right now. This is real factual information. Y'all got to make sure you subscribe if you enjoy this type of content, okay? Because there's a lot of people in this space. All they do is just talk. I'm here bringing y'all actual factuals, man. So make sure you guys subscribe because we're almost to 1,000 subs, and I couldn't be there without y'all. All my new subscribers, man, salute to y'all because y'all be standing on business. I love it, man. I love to see y'all comments in my videos and on my live streams, and obviously you guys being active in the chat, man. Salute. All right. So Tandria says they don't know how ignorant we can get. That's a fact. And look, like I told y'all, we don't bother nobody. But if you want smoke, trust me, we can be a chimney, my guy, a chimney. We can literally go as hard as you want to go. You want to go low? We can go lower. Facts. I'm not trying to, make those threats, whatever. That's just a guarantee. Everything that I've seen from a lot of these diaspora wars that they're trying to create have been us just responding, family. It's never us starting nothing because we don't have to. I literally get on this channel and talk about foundational Black American history, and I can just do that. I don't need to go back and forth with nobody. And that's a fact. I can sit on here, talk to y'all about our history, talk to y'all about what we got going on, and we could do this forever. We ain't got to talk about nobody else. But when y'all talking about us, then now we have to go ahead and make sure that we get y'all together and make sure you guys understand that we not playing them games, all right? Yep, they all went up there in the 1920s and 30s, facts. And that's why even if you watch the movie Sinners, when Stack and Smoke are talking about their experience when they went up north, you know what I'm saying? When they were up north, they already said what it was. Where did they go? Illinois, all right? So y'all got to understand there's just so many similarities with this movie that I resonated with because this is my direct lineage. You feel me? I have direct lineage to the places that they were in. Mississippi, Louisiana, Illinois. My family settled in Texas, Clarksville, Texas specifically, okay? And then we migrated from Clarksville, Texas to California. And we've been here ever since my great-grandmother and great-grandfather got here, all right? Over 8 generations, all right? We've been in California. We here, man. We ain't going nowhere. So salute to y'all. You know what I'm saying? Chosen. Facts. I've been in Chicago for 3 years now, and it's flooded with Mississippi and Arkansas FBAs. Yeah, man, because that's where we went. It was one of those places where, like, a lot of us spoke on, you know what I mean? And they talk about this as well, is that Harriet Tubman had a direct lineage going to Illinois and a direct route that took them up there. So a lot of them people who was freedmen, they was already there. And that's just facts, man. Salute to Will. He said, just tapping in. Hey, salute, Will. Appreciate you, brother. Salute, man. Hey, yep, I'm about to be raised. I'm born and raised 45 minutes out of Clarksdale, Mississippi. Yeah, man, this is where we was from, man. This is where we settled. A lot of our very early ancestors settled there and understood that Mississippi was a hard place, y'all. It was the devastating place to be, okay? So a lot of us had to get up out of there. A lot of us didn't want to deal with that shit, okay? So we was like, nah, we gonna go ahead and go up north, get it cracking up there, and then figure it out later. And that's exactly what happened. You know what I'm saying? So salute to all of my ancestors in Mississippi, man. Hey, salute, Will. He said, we all came from the South. You know that we the first Americans from the South to the North, then to the West. Yes, sir. That is, I did my genealogy. And as I was going through my genealogy, I was following the path, right? So I have this map. I wish I could bring it up, but, you know, I've heard that now tethers are starting to steal a lot of this stuff. So I can't show too much, y'all. I got to be real strategic now. But I have a map and I have, you know, these red thumbtacks that I've done with the pathway. And you can see the pathway if you are really thinking about how you would move a family or how you would move an entire, you know, group of people. You would go state from state, right? Trying to make sure that you get where you need to. And from my family side of things, my mother's side, when they got to Clarksville, Texas, they set down shop. My great-great-great-grandfathers and my great-great-great-grandfather's brother had farms literally next door to each other, over 25 acres each, okay? So those farms were a hub for a lot of our family members. And not only that, my grandpa and my grandmother met in Clarksville, Texas, because my grandpa was there as well, right? So there was a lot of that was going on, a lot of establishment churches that were built because of my family in Clarksville, Texas, okay? And one of my goals is to go to Clarksville, Texas and do a documentary out there just for my family lineage, you know what I'm saying? So y'all be on the lookout for that. But yeah, man, salute to you guys, bro. Hey, Tandria says it was either Chicago or Detroit. Yeah, man, a lot of us were going up there. Michigan and Illinois, right, was a hub for us. It was a hub for our foundational Black Americans, all right? Salute to Will A. He says, Clayton, Alabama over here, our roots are deep. Yeah, man, my uncle, he's from Mobile, Alabama, okay? A real Alabamian, all right? Like that dude, he as country as it gets. You know what I'm saying? And if you looked at him, you could tell, you know what I'm saying? And his mother, you'd be so surprised because my uncle, he is dark, as black as the night, as black as his shirt, okay? But his mother is Creole, and she's from Louisiana, and she's as light as can be. It's so funny, but it's a beautiful thing, man, because that's who we are as people. We're multi-layered, all right? Multi-layered. Salute, Tandria, thank you. So look, we're going to keep going, all right? So post-World War I atmosphere, right? We're going to start there. Soldiers returning from World War I brought a new sense of social consciousness and determination, often dubbed the New Negro Movement, okay? So look, obviously there's a war going on right now, okay? We know that. So for our perspective as foundational Black Americans in this current Renaissance in 2026, a lot of those same consciousness and intellectual conversations that we are happening amongst ourselves are a byproduct of what's going on outside, just like what was going on outside during those times in the early 1900s, okay? So when we talk about what's going on is a spiritual thing, it is, because our ancestors are literally blessing us and protecting us as we are going out of our way to pay homage to them, and to not only that, keep their history alive by using our platforms to make sure that narratives get debunked and that people don't try to steal and tether onto what we got going on. We are now in a gatekeeping stage of what is going on here, and we must continue to gatekeep. We must continue to pay homage, and we must continue to block out any of the BS that we're starting to see right now on these internet streets and in the media everywhere. You know, like I said, there's a lot of podcasts out here with these people from different countries trying their best to infiltrate and be a part of what they see going on in the foundational Black American Renaissance right now. They're trying their best. And I love the fact that our people are not allowing them to do that. I love the fact that we are standing on business and making sure that they just don't try to run up in here and try to, you know, take credit for something that they didn't build. Okay. So salute. Tandria says, nah, don't give these bums lurking the map, how we move. We have some solid people from Alabama. Yeah, man. I'm being much more strategic, obviously, because like I said, I've been seeing a lot of other content creators who are in this space talking about how they're starting to see some of these people from these different countries trying to use their lineage to make themselves seem like they're a part of what we got going on. So this is also my PSA to y'all, to make sure to protect your family lineage, to protect your family trees, to make sure that you are protecting yourself away from these people, because they trying their best right now to infiltrate, and we ain't gonna let them. Salute, Will. Thank you, brother. Thank you. So now that we talked about the war timing, right? The war part, all right? Now let's talk about the timing, right? Because I always say this, everything has its timing, and the divine timing that we're on right now, it cannot be replicated, okay? This is very important because as the timing continues, we are so on point with this because this is our time. I said it in my last stream. This is our time. Our time is now as foundational Black Americans. We are now leaning into what is ours, okay? What the Most High has for us cannot be taken by anybody else. What's for us is for us. Everybody else, y'all got to get yours. You feel me? But for us, it's time for us to get ours, and we're not going to let anybody get in the way of that, okay? So timing, right? While often associated with the 1920s, the movement had roots in the early 1910s and lasted beyond the Great Depression. Okay, so this is a part of it, guys, is the fact that this is just the start, but we're not going to allow any of this fugaziness to continue. We are staying and standing on business. We are not allowing anybody else to come in here and try to debunk or take away from what we got going on in our own Renaissance movement that's happening right now. All right. That's why it's so important. That's why I had this thumbnail, is because this is what's happening right now, y'all. All of this Black excellence is because of divine timing. Okay. It is supposed to happen like this. The Most High already told us the last will be first. Okay. The last will be first. And we are now starting to become that. We are walking into our moment, and nobody will get in the way of that. Now while I'm in this space, please believe that. Please believe that. All right. So salute to Tandria. She says, yep, they will screenshot genealogy records. Be cautious, family, because these people be lurking. They're in the chats. They're in every single space that we're in because they want to be a part of this. All right. But unfortunately, your lineage cannot do that. Okay. What's wrong with being African? Right? I thought y'all loved y'all country. I thought you guys had so much pride. What's wrong with that? Be who you are. We don't have any problem with that. Be Caribbean. Be African, be Jamaican, be Cuban, okay? Be Latino. We have no problem with that. But the fact that y'all have a problem with us when we say that we're foundational Black Americans and this is our lineage and this is our history, listen, y'all, that should tell you everything you need to know, okay? That should tell you guys everything you need to know when we are just saying, hey, guys, y'all cool. We respect you guys' lineage, the African lineage. We respect it. Just respect ours. I don't see how that's hard to like understand or to like get. You feel me? Like it's very easy to understand this, but y'all want to go ahead and nitpick and try your best to tell us or try to, like I said, tether onto what we have going on. No, y'all African. No, y'all this. You not know Native American. You not know Native American. I am just like, bro, I don't have to prove that to y'all no more, because who are you? If you're not who you say you are, if you guys don't want to be Nigerian, you guys don't want to be Caribbean anymore, you guys don't want to be Ghanaian, why? That's who you are. Be who you are. We love that. We love that you guys represent who you are. Be that. Let us be us, though. Let us go ahead and lean into our lineage. Let us go ahead and make sure that we control our narratives, okay? This is just what it is. Salute to Chosen. He says the scripture talks about a great awakening of the chosen, and that is what is happening right now. It is a movement, all right? A movement of what? Consciousness and artistic literacy. That is the definition of a renaissance, okay? That is the definition of a renaissance, all right? And that is what's happening right now. Our artistic, our consciousness, our lineage, it's all being raised. The profile of who we are is continuing to be raised. Why? Because like I told y'all, we set the trend. We are the ones who everybody else follows. So once foundational Black Americans decided that we are going to delineate and separate ourselves from everybody else and take ownership of our lineage, I don't see how that could be a problem. I don't. I'm sorry. I don't. I just don't get it. Salute to Chosen again. He says the scripture says they, the royal authority, will not depart from us until the return of the Most High. Facts, man. And this is a part of it, man. There is a divine timing for everything. And this is where we are right now, a divine timing of everything that's happening right now. Everything that happened with Michael B. Jordan and Ryan Coogler was supposed to happen. Everything that happened with Kendrick Lamar and Dave Free was supposed to happen. Everything that happened with Terrence Crawford was supposed to happen. Why? Because they put in the work. They took a risk by leaning into their lineage and their heritage. They didn't kowtow for nobody. They didn't say, oh, we just trying to be safe and make everybody feel included. No, they said, we're going to focus on our people. We're going to stand up for our people, and we're going to make sure that we hold a line. Okay. And if everybody else gets offended, so what? Because guess what? That is the point of art. All right. Art, whether you like it or not, is supposed to make you feel something. I don't care about how you feel, dog. I don't, because that's not my objective here. My objective here is to make you think and to push your consciousness to another level, make you wake up. All right. If you got a problem with how your people are depicted, go talk to your people and try to fix it. Go look into your history and understand why things have not gotten to where they are for y'all, but they have for us. It's very simple stuff that y'all can, just understand. Hey, salute the green ear. Thank you. Salute. Peace to you. You know what I'm saying? And we ain't apologizing no more. Them days of trying to be, something for everybody else. Nah, them days are over, family. Ain't nobody I ain't trying to, be the moral compass. Nah, bro, them days are over, man. We got to focus on us, and we got to be selfish. It's okay to be selfish, y'all. It's okay, because guess what? Everybody else is. Everybody else look out for their people. Everybody else make sure that they stand on their business for their people. It's time for us to finally do that. And mind you, we are doing that. And that's why we are getting the abundance. Okay. That's why so much is coming towards us, because we have finally chosen ourselves. This is how this works. Law of attraction. Everybody talks about manifestation and law of attraction. This is what law of attraction is. I'm focused on me. I want what I want. And I'm going to make sure that I prioritize my people first. And if there's anything left for y'all, maybe. But let's what? No. We're not going to do that, because you guys want to do the same, and you proved it over and over for generations that if you guys got what you wanted, you guys will always look out for yourself and never think about foundational Black Americans. And so now we're just keeping the same energy. That's all. We're just keeping the same energy. We have to keep the same energy, guys, because at the end of the day, everybody else is going to do what they want first, man. So make sure that you guys don't go around feeling bad or having to apologize for being selfish, when that is an essential part of making sure that you grow your community. All right. I'm doing what I got to do for my people. Everybody else, y'all got to get yours, man, because you've been doing that for a long time. So salute to Chosen. He says, Judah is the strongest tribe and marked by their abilities. All are a peculiar people. For real, for real. We are the ones, man. We the ones, man. Nobody else is like us. Nobody else can be like us. They not like us, all right? This is just facts, y'all. They not like us. All right, so look, we gonna continue to talk about this, okay? So look, I'm going to make sure I read Tandra's comment first, though. Peace, family. May the Most High bless you and the family. Stay tight. Keep your head on a swivel and enjoy your night. Yes, indeed, we must. We always must keep our head on a swivel. Make sure y'all protecting one another. Make sure you're trying to be as kind and open-minded to your brothers and sisters when you see them coming through. You know what I'm saying? Salute to that. All right. So now we can push it into the new. All right. So let's talk about today. All right. So we already just talked about, like I said, I had a stream the other day. Make sure you guys like and subscribe. All right. I talked about Michael B. Jordan and what him and Ryan Coogler were able to accomplish, right? How they were able to win the largest, most prestigious award in their industry based on leaning into their stories and their lineage. Okay. That is important because Everybody on this thumbnail has done exactly that. All right. But we must also address a little bit of straightening. Okay. So look, a lot of people are talking about Teyana Taylor, right? They're talking about her behavior at the Oscars and how she was acting and all this stuff. And I got to ask y'all, you feel me? Because obviously, you know, she comes from a Trinidadian background and a foundational Black American background, right? So now a lot of people are talking about decorum, right? And how we should be acting, right? And the way that we should be treating one another, right? We got to talk about that because it's very important, right? It's very interesting to see. And this is also the talking point that kind of goes over everybody's head, is the fact that that is overshadowing what she was able to do and what she was able to accomplish, right? Because she was a part of an Oscar award-winning movie. But a lot of people are talking about the fact that, you know, she was a little bit too excited. They really didn't understand her behavior and why she was acting the way that she was acting. I don't know, man. I don't really know what to say to that. Honestly, like, y'all got to let me know in the chat, because I feel like, you know, and this is just my opinion, I've been following Teyana Taylor since she was a part of the ice cream team, right? Everybody remembers her rolling with Pharrell, her, you know, Sweet 16 on, you know, MTV, all this stuff, right? And, let me pause that. So a lot of people were talking about that and what was her behavior like? What was going on? Why she was acting the way that she was acting? And, you know, I'm gonna be real with you. Like, I always saw her as a tomboy, right? Am I tripping? Like, I understand how she looks today, but I always knew her as a tomboy. Like, she has a little bit more of a masculine stature. That's just who she is. You know what I'm saying? Not, you know, and that's no disrespect, obviously, but that's who she is. Like, she has that masculine energy. So when we seen this, right, we're gonna bring this up. Right, let's bring this up, and I'm gonna make sure I mute the music because I don't know, you know what I'm saying? I don't know how the copyrights be working, but this is what happened. You know, they won the Oscar, and boom, there she goes. She's, you know, giving them a little love, a lot of love, right? And, you know, I think in reality, you know what I'm saying? From my opinion, you know, if you're really excited, this is her first time being on this stage. I think she's been in the industry for a very long time, and her getting into this, we all understand how talented she is, right? But everybody's talking about decorum. Everybody's talking about how she should be acting, if she should be showing herself and proving that, hey, you know, I've been here before. You know, we here, we doing our thing. You know what I'm saying? We keeping it classy. That's what everybody's asking. So I got to ask y'all, you feel me? What do you guys think? Because from my perspective, like I said, I've always known her as kind of a tomboy. You know, she has a little bit more of that masculine energy. So I felt like I really didn't, you know, I didn't really think too much of it. But now it's becoming like the real, you know, hey, salute Turian Rain, bro. Hey, salute to you, Turian. Hey, I follow you, dog. I really appreciate what you have to say. And I love your channel, bro. I can't believe you're in my chat, bro. I really appreciate you, man. Thank you for pulling up, bro. I'm blessed to have you in my chat, dog. Salute. Meanwhile, no one talks about Taylor Swift and her drinking at the Grammys. That was the point, bro. 100%. That's exactly where I was going with this. Thank you, bro. Thank you. I appreciate you. I hope you subscribe, man, because I'm definitely subscribed to you. So I hope you subscribe, brother, because I really appreciate your channel and I love the work that you do, dog. You are one of the pillars of people who inspired me to do this, bro. Real talk. Like, I really enjoy your channel, Torian. So thank you, man. But yeah, agreed, bro. And that's where we going with this. What are the standards, right? Because if we talking about foundational Black Americans, right? If we really talking for real, let's talk. How we supposed to act if we don't care about what their awards are supposed to be? How are we going to dictate how another Black woman chooses to act when we already know who she is and her energy? Like I said, I didn't have a problem with it. I already saw the fact that, like I said, I've been following her since she's been a part of the ice cream team since she was 15 years old. Okay. So from my perspective, I always saw her as a tomboy. She's a beautiful woman, obviously. And I'm gonna be real with y'all. You know, I like me a little tomboys. I ain't gonna lie. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. That's me though. But everybody's different. So my question is, what are we talking about when it comes to the imagery of foundational Black Americans in these spaces, bro? Help me understand, because is it a certain standard for Black women and everybody else? Because I'm gonna be real with you, I've seen a lot of claps and hugs, a lot of, you know what I'm saying, a lot of masculine energy from women. And like he just mentioned, we saw Taylor Swift acting a fool all the time. All the time, Taylor Swift acting a fool in the crowd, drunk as ever. But Tiana Taylor, it's different standards for her though. How that work? I'm trying to understand. Salute Terry, and he says this is why the Image Awards occurred a couple of weeks ago. It felt so relaxed and laid back. Yeah, man, like a family reunion. Yes, indeed, because that's a part of our people. Like, we not tripping off of this type of stuff. But I'm seeing now that this is starting to overshadow what actually the moment was for her, being a part of an Oscar award-winning film. Okay, she will be receiving an Oscar because she was a part of it. And not only that, she was supporting other people who are in the same space. I don't see how that's so offensive and like she need to tighten up. She got to tighten up now. Like what is it? Y'all got to help me understand what we're doing here. Because on one hand, y'all talking about we don't care about these wars, we don't care about this or that, but then on the same token, y'all talking about, oh, she got to know how to act. What do you mean, sir, ma'am? What do you mean when you say how they're supposed to act? I don't get it, man. I don't, man. I really don't get it. Salute. She was happy to be there. She was damn near everyone's cheerleader. Facts, man. And listen, this is a part of her growth, bro. She has been in the industry for a very long time. And as a person who is in the industry himself, I know how this works. And I can understand being so excited to be in those spaces, man. To even be acknowledged in those spaces is a big thing for people who have been doing this for a long time in this industry, because we understand this industry is racist. Let's keep it a buck. We already know this. All right. We ain't gotta tiptoe around that on my channel, because we're gonna keep it a buck. This industry is racist. So naturally, if we are in a situation where we are at the top, the upper echelon, the elite level, all right, this is the top elite level of this industry. If I'm here, I'm gonna be myself. If I made it this far, why would I change? And that's why it was so important. That's why it was such a historical moment for Michael B. Jordan and for, Ryan Coogler to be able to win, because they didn't change up nothing. They're still themselves. Even within Ryan's speech, he let it be known, I'm from Oakland. I'm from the town. All right. I'm going to talk how I'm going to talk. You feel me? I'm not finna change up my vernacular just because I got this Oscar in my hand. I'm going to make sure that I still represent where I'm from. And I'm still going to represent my people and my ancestry, just like everybody else. Okay? We ain't got to play these games, y'all. Enough. Like I told y'all, enough with trying to make everybody else feel comfortable when we are the culture. We are the ones who bring relevancy to these award shows. We are the ones who bring eyes to these award shows. I would love to know what the numbers were for these Oscars, because this had to be one of the most watched Oscars of all time. And let's keep it a buck, because the Oscars have been dwindling every single year. We know that. All right. So that's just what it is, man. Salute to Terry. He says, when Ryan and Michael won, especially Michael, it felt like a family member won. Straight up. I watched so many compilation videos of FBA's going crazy when he won. It felt like a championship moment, because it was. We know what this means now. We know moving forward, nothing will ever be the same for these brothers. And like I mentioned on my last stream when I talked about it, every single time you say their name, you must say Oscar award-winning director, Oscar award-winning actor, Michael B. Jordan and Ryan Coogler. Just like you have to do the same for Kendrick Lamar and Dave Free. Kendrick Lamar, Grammy award-winning rapper, hip-hop and writer, Pulitzer Prize winner. You must do the same for Dave Free, who is a director. Okay, let's just keep it a buck, man. These brothers right here, Even when we talk about Terrence Crawford, you must address Terrence Crawford as a champion. You must, because he is the one undisputed 3 times. 3 times undisputed. You must address him as 3 times undisputed champion of the world. All right. That is what we talking about when we talk about Black excellence and greatness in our community. All right. This is why we were so excited, because we understand what this means, especially if you've worked in the industry or if you are a part of anything when it comes to the arts. Okay. The arts are a very, very particular lane. So many people try, but only so many people are successful. These brothers made it to the highest level and were able to be successful in that at the highest level. And not only that, with the support of their people. All right. That is something that can never be forgotten. They will always be continue to be mentioned among the greats. All right. Because they are great. We are great. And so that's why it was so important for me to make sure that I talked about this, because right now, Foundational Black Americans, there is a renaissance happening right now, okay, with our people, okay? And we are taking the reins of this, all right? Guys like Terry and Rain, guys like Tariq, guys like CEO, guys like Alpha Elite, guys like, I can keep going, you know what I'm saying? Black Alpha, like we could just keep going. There is so many people in this space who are taking this to the next level. And not only that, they are making sure to stand on business, okay? Calling out what needs to be called out and correcting the narratives, okay? Gone are the days that Foundational Black Americans just allow y'all to say anything, okay? It's straight up. It's like an FBA network, 100%, because we understand, a lot of us who are in this space understand how the media works. And if we are all collectively on one accord, okay, there can never be any type of BS that's going to be allowed anymore. We are all starting to make sure that the consciousness continues to get raised, because like I said, a renaissance is what? It is a collective of art and literacy, consciousness, and the growth of the consciousness among what? A particular people, Foundational Black Americans. Okay. And that's why it's such a great understanding that we have. And we're starting to see more and more of this. You feel me? Obviously, I have a very small channel. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to grow. We almost to 1,000 subs though. And I mean this, I had to grind for this. Okay. Because y'all know how YouTube be playing with Black creators. All right. Y'all know that. So for me to be able to get these type of views now, and people are starting to support, this was all grassroots, man. I wouldn't be able to have this without y'all. Straight up. Without you guys, I wouldn't be able to be here. And that's just facts, man. Speaking of Michael, I believe the Michael biopic is going to be the next cinematic event. Yes, sir. We're going to show up and we're going to support. You know what I'm saying? I know what they're trying to do with the media, and they're trying to make, you know, Janet seem like she doesn't approve of it and all this other stuff that they're trying to do, create a lot of controversy around it. Nah, man, I'm pulling up. I'm going to see it in an IMAX, whatever experience they got for me. I'm going to make sure I support it, because Michael Jackson is one of my favorite artists of all time. Okay. As you guys see behind me, all these records, right? This collection, this is, in my opinion, one of the most particularly curated collections of all time. And I cannot wait until the day I start to bring you guys into this, okay? Because right now I'm putting some things together so that we can start doing listening parties. I'm going to start playing these records for y'all, and we just going to vibe out to Black American music, okay? Because a lot of this stuff that I got in here, it is all Black American music, okay? We got jazz, blues, soul, rock and roll, folk, gospel. All right, we gonna party. You know what I'm saying? And that's gonna be fun for me. That's gonna be fun for me. Trust me when I tell y'all, we gonna make sure that we party together, because this is a part of history right here. and this archive will be represented correctly. You know what I'm saying? He's your favorite artist. That part, man. You know what I'm saying? Him and Prince were neck and neck, and we already know what Michael did. Michael, king of pop, no debate. All right, and there will never be another. Me and my homies was just talking about this the other day. Ain't nobody making nobody faint no more. People were fainting when they would see the sight of Michael Jackson, okay? Nobody has that cultural effect like Michael had, okay? And when this movie come out, it's going to be a great event, because even let's keep it a buck. Like, do y'all remember when they did the Michael Jackson story when it was like 8 episodes? I remember watching that with my family. We would all get in the room and everybody was watching it. You know what I'm saying? We watching Michael. We watching the come up, every single one of them. I should have had Michael in there in my little thumbnail, but y'all know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? When they had the Michael Jackson story and it was episoded out from Gary, Indiana to the world, man. It was an event, okay? And it's going to be another one when this new Michael Jackson movie drops. You already know what's going to happen. It's going to be and everybody's going to be talking about it, and we're going to have a great time, and you're going to see all the contrarians talking down on it. All right, salute. Turian says, whenever Michael dropped the new video, it was always an event on network television. 100%. And that was the difference back then to now, is a music video was like a story. It was like a movie, honestly. And the way that Michael Jackson did his productions, it was a movie. Remember the time? That was like one of the most influential music videos I've ever seen in my life, y'all. When he did the whole backstory with the Egyptians, and you had Eddie Murphy and all these great Black American stars, all right? It ain't the same. A star is not the same anymore when it was back then. And you saw all these beautiful Black American people, and Michael Jackson being the top. And there'll never be another time like this, man. Remember, the time was just so great. I mean, even when y'all remember the Michael Jackson VHS, when it was him and he was the Transformer and he turned into the DeLorean and all, man, bro, y'all don't want to talk for real, because I'm gonna age myself, but y'all don't want to talk for real about when it comes to some actual consuming of Black media and Black art. Okay, because that was something from a personal stamp. Yes, there you go. Moonwalker. That's exactly what it was called, bro. Salutarian. Yes, 100%. That was an event, right? Even when he had the ride at Disneyland. Okay, when they brought the Michael Jackson experience. Y'all don't want to really talk for real, because when it comes to this art stuff, when it comes to, man, y'all don't really want to talk for real, because I'm really like that when it comes to this, bro. That's what we do over here. And so for me, seeing all that and now coming into 2026, where now we're seeing so much of an influx of the foundational Black American art, foundational Black American media, foundational Black American content creators who are now starting to rise to the top. They're coming out in large numbers, you know what I'm saying? Doing huge numbers, man. Some of these people, bro, I be seeing their live streams. We have 5,000, 10,000 people in the chat. Like, bro, ain't nobody doing that. And that's because we are blessed, y'all. The ancestors are shining on us right now, man. They're giving us the green light because we paying respects to them. And nothing can ever get in the way of that. We're not allowing anybody else to tell us our narrative. We're not allowing anybody else to tell us who we are. And we are gatekeeping any BS. You know what I'm saying? I love how y'all stepping on Jack Harlow right now with the stupid stuff he been saying. I ain't even going to talk about it, y'all, because I'm going to be real with you. I never liked Jack Harlow, and I don't even want to waste time on that dude. I'm just keeping it a buck with y'all. I don't care about him. He's a loser. He's just another story like many stories before. Elvis, the Beach Boys, let's talk about rock and roll, all of them, man. We ain't even gonna get into that, man. Hey, salute. Hey, Tori, you already know, bro. I don't even want to like give him any attention anymore. He's gotten enough. All right. Because this is now what's happening. I want you guys to understand this as well. Now they're starting to use rage bait to be able to gain views, to gain plays on their albums, to gain, comments and engagement in their videos. This is what I've been noticing too. And I need y'all to pay attention to this. A lot of these people who are not FBA, they're using our reactions to be able to gain views and to gain a lot of traction on their channels because they know that we're going to stand on business. Okay. Facts, man. The album was whack. And let's keep it real. I make R&B and soul music. So I already have the ear, you know what I'm saying? And I'm not going to play with these games, man, because that was something as well that I saw during the Oscar performance where we had our young brothers coming up there talking and making sure that they doing their due diligence. And what happens? What happens, right? We see Shabuzi up there. We see Shabuzi up there killing the vibes, man. Miles, who is an amazing singer, who has an amazing voice, okay? He up there singing raw, no backtrack. You can hear it, the soul in his voice. And then they go to Shabuzi and all he do is mess it up. He was so flat. I was so mad because I can only imagine the engineers who are doing the live tracking. I would have been so upset. Like, why is Shabuzi turn his mic off, bro? I would have turned his mic off. I'm just being real with you because I'm petty like that when it comes to vocals and when it comes to live performances, because that's what we do over here. Like, I would have been so upset, bro. Like, get this dude out of here, man. I don't know why Shabuzi was there. He looked so out of place. Yeah, man, he did. He wasn't supposed to be there. I'm just keeping it real. They forced him in there because I understand what they're trying to do as far as like sometimes, and this is just real, we don't understand how much influence we have on these internet streets. And when we say that we see what's going on, they see it too. And a lot of them saw what happened to Shabuzi after his speech at the Grammys. A lot of people saw that. It wasn't just us who was in the community. A lot of people seen that and it was like, oh man, we got to try to, get him in here because, we want to make sure that he still get a little cover. But he doesn't know that things will never be the same after what he said. He already showed us who he was. And we not going back on that, bro. We already showed us who you were, bro. We already know who you are, dog. So we ain't got to play these games and try to make it seem like, oh, yeah, we just, nah, bro. There was no point for him to be up there. He sounded flat. He didn't contribute anything to the performance, nor was he even a part of it. Like, come on, man. Like, nah, bro. Like, come on, man. Like, I just got to keep it real with y'all. When it comes to this music stuff, my ear is different. I've been doing music since I was 17 years old. I know what to hear is from, and I came from a gospel background. I grew up in the church. My dad is a pastor right now. So when it comes to this music stuff, when it comes to ears, when it comes to soul, I was born in it. Okay. So I have the ear for it. And I was just like, nah, dog, we ain't finna do this. We're not finna just do this. We're not just finna throw him in here, give him a mic and let him sing. And then at the same time, he's messing up Miles' vocals because Miles has such a strong voice. You cannot deny that. When you have other people coming behind that, all that does is mess it up, man. It just makes it a mess. It got real messy. And I didn't like that. You know what I'm saying? Because you had a beautiful moment and they just try to mess it up, man. Yes. He didn't even harmonize. Yes, bro. That's what I'm talking about. It's like when it comes to the rehearsal, I'm already thinking in my head, I'm like, bro, why are you not harmonizing? Like, do you not have earphones in? Do you not have your headpiece in? Because if you did, you would have heard where Miles was going, and then you have to come underneath that. You can't compete with it, so come behind it, bro. What are you doing? But that's what I'm saying. He's not a real singer, y'all. He's not. Even if you listen to his most popular songs, it's not really singing. It's more of a melodic kind of rap, trying to stay on a certain path, but it's not really singing. Miles is a real singer, okay? A real singer. You know what I'm saying? Salute. to Terry, he says, what I will say was how Missy Copeland made sure to perform so Timothy Chalamet could see it after those anti-art comments he made. Yes, indeed. Because you got to understand that, like I said, we're not the only ones who see this stuff. They see it too. And so I understand, hey, she got that call like, hey, we need you to come over here because you're the greatest Black American ballerina to ever exist. So we got to make sure that you bring what you do on the highest level. And then we just gonna go ahead and bring out a retirement real quick so you can go ahead and spin on these motherfuckers. You know what I mean? That's what it is. And I appreciated that. I appreciated it a lot because it was needed. You know what I'm saying? Mind you, she not too long ago had hip surgery. Yes, indeed. Because people don't understand, like when he said those comments, it was so disrespectful to an art form that is literally one of the hardest art forms to even be able to reach the level that she reached. Okay? The hardest art form. All right? And she had to go through hell to get there. All right? All those people saying she too big, she needs to lose weight, all this other stuff, man. I've watched her career extensively. And so from my perspective, I was like, nah, Timothy, you're cooked, bro. And listen, the Kardashian curse is real. Whether y'all want to believe it or not, stay away from them people. All right? Stay away from them people. You got to, because you already saw what happened to that brother, okay? So look, man, y'all make sure to subscribe, man. We trying to make it to 1,000. We are knocking on the door. We are almost there. You know what I'm saying? I think I'm around 907 subscribers. So y'all just got to keep tapping in with your boy, man, so we can get there, so we can make sure that we are solidified with this channel and making sure that we grow every single day, all right? Because right now, the renaissance is happening, and it cannot happen without y'all support of one another. You know what I'm saying? This is just really what it is, man. Hey, notice no one is calling Timmy a simp for dating the Kardashian, who is... Listen, bro, we already know what this means, bruh. We done seen it so many times, dog. Wasn't nobody saying that, okay? But let a brother date a woman who got kids. Okay? That's why, bro, Torian, bro, I appreciate you, man, because this is what we talking about. The double standards is real, and it's ugly. It's filthy out here, the double standards. This dude who is literally irrelevant, all right? He was irrelevant until he went ahead and made that strategic PR move. And mind you, he gonna toss her to the side after this. I can guarantee you that. I can guarantee you that. Same with Elon. Listen, man, the ultimate baby daddy is YT men, all right? The ultimate breaking up of families is YT men. The ultimate fatherless children and fatherless homes are YT families. They don't want to talk about that though, Tori, and they don't want to talk about that because listen, those type of videos, when I make them type of videos, I'll get 5 views, 10 views on the videos. Nothing. They'll try to suppress them videos, bruh. But when we actually stand on business and let these people know, hey, the ultimate YTs are the baby daddies. You know what I'm saying? The original baby daddy is the YT male. Facts, Will. The originals. Okay? The originals. The number one in all of history. Do you know how many broken homes are YT homes? Do you know how many broken families are YT families? You know what I'm saying? This is just what happens. They suppress them videos, though. They suppress that information because if I was to bring the statistics to y'all, I can guarantee you the stream, they'll be playing with the stream. They'll be making me freeze up, all this other stuff. Y'all saw what they did to that stream when I was cooking. Y'all saw that. So we already know, you know what I'm saying? The ultimate, the number one destruction of society is the YT community. All right, we already know that. Okay, they talking about birth rates and all this other stuff. That's because y'all want to hear, y'all want to talk about the history. All right, y'all don't want to talk about the history, man. Because if y'all wanted to really cook on the history of the YT community and the YT male specifically, and how many broken families that they have, how many countries they've gone to and left their children over there to be raised in hell, okay? You can't even, I saw so many videos of African countries where these YT men go over there and leave these half-breed children to be completely ridiculed and singled out in these countries, not taking any responsibility for what they created out there. Y'all help me understand who are supposed to be, but the narrative is black men, right? The narrative is us, foundational Black American men, don't take care of their children. Meanwhile, every black man in my family, every black man in my friend group has children and takes care of their children. I come from a two-parent household. Wait, man, I ain't even going. Look, we gonna stay on task though, all right? Listen, I want y'all to know that the Foundational Black American Renaissance is happening right now. I'm so thankful and grateful to be a part of this time and what's happening right now. And like I said, this is spiritual. This is a spiritual time. You feel me? Our ancestors are shining on us. They're making sure that they're protecting us as we go out here on these internet streets and in the real world to do what's right for our people. All right? We are making sure that we're standing on business everywhere we go. All right? Plenty of conversations that I have behind the scenes and on the internet. Every time I hear people are respecting what I'm doing, they respect every single content creator that I've talked about today. All right? These are people who are doing the work, who are helping us grow, who are raising our consciousness and the artistic value that is being brought to our community. Okay? This is important. And I'm so grateful for y'all, man. I'm so grateful for y'all. Salute, Steven. Peace, brother. Hey, salute, man. I really am. I'm so grateful to have this time with my people and to be a part of this, man. To be a part of this because, like I said, I've been making other content as far as like when it comes to art and music, but actually switching into now the YouTube space and being able to have these live streams and podcasting and putting out my videos that I put together for y'all. It has been nothing but great feedback from you guys. And I'm so grateful for that, man, because it keeps me going. It keeps me motivated to make sure that I'm doing the research and to make sure that I'm bringing you guys unique stories and unique content that backs up all my other brothers and sisters who are out here putting out great content. Like my brother Torian Rain, who's in the chat right now. Y'all make sure y'all subscribe to him because he makes amazing content. All right. He stands on business and he has a great mind. Okay. Guys like this who have made a very, very influential part of me being motivated to do this. I'm so grateful that he's even in my chat. Even a brother like Introverted Rockstar, he also subscribed to my channel. A great brother, you know what I'm saying? A great FBA brother who brings amazing content and who stands on business, man. It's going to continue, man, straight up. Hey, salute to Will. He says, I agree absolutely. It's an obligation, let alone something more powerful is working through us, so-called foundational Black Americans, American freedmen, however you want to go, man. Hey, salute. Hey, I appreciate you, Turian. Y'all doing great work, and y'all set the stage for brothers like me. You feel me? Who coming behind y'all? You know what I'm saying? You guys been doing the work for a minute on YouTube, and I appreciate that, man, because I seek out this type of content, and I know I'm not the only one. You know what I'm saying? So salute to y'all, man, and appreciate everybody who's come through and shows love every single live stream. Like I said, every video I drop, every, repost, the shorts, whatever. Y'all be in the chat, y'all be in the comments, y'all hit that like button. Make sure you guys like the video. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel because, like I said, we're growing over here. We're trying to hit that 1,000 subs so that we can be able to monetize and grow. You know what I mean? Because, like I said, all these other channels, they out here spreading false propaganda, getting millions of subscribers, millions of views. So make sure y'all subscribe to a dude who's spreading truth, all right? Who's helping y'all grow, who wants to raise the consciousness and add to the literacy of what we got going on at this Foundational Black American Renaissance in 2026, man. This is just, it's a great time. Like I said, it's a great time to be Black. It's a great time to be a foundational Black American. You feel me? And with that, you know what I'm saying? That's all I got to say, man. I appreciate you guys. So thank you so much. I'm definitely going to try to maybe do a stream sometime in the next couple of days, but be on the lookout for that, man. So I appreciate everybody who pulls up. My name is Brandon B. I'm a part of Elite Media, man, and I'm out. Peace.